One more aspect about doTERRA I'd like to review with you before we move on with our day. And that is about the business side of doTERRA. A lot of people ask me, even out of curiosity, how much do you make? How many hours do you put in? These kind of questions. And how successful are you really working from home with an at-home business with doTERRA? So what I'll tell you is, honestly, it takes a lot of work, just like anything in life. But the reason why doTERRA is such an attractive business and why so many people are doing it is because of one simple fact, and that is their compensation plan structure. I'm not going to explain the whole thing to you, but one thing that doTERRA does that's different than other companies is they offer 7% commission back on the 7th level. So you make 7% on what people are buying on your 7th level. And if you know how these kind of structures work, what you do is you find 3 people to work with you who are like-minded and like-hearted and you really get along well, who are as committed as you are. And you start them on your first 3 levels, and then they find 3, and then they find 3, and you do that for a few levels. And as you get down, and that just continues to multiply, most of the people are lower in that 7th level. It's where the pyramid idea came from. It's not a scheme, though. It's really a viable way of making money. And so the reason why people love doTERRA is because it's usually 1% on the 7th level. People in other companies usually give you a lot up at the top, where you have less people, and then where you have more at the bottom, they give you less, which makes sense because then they make more money. But with doTERRA, they really put the money in your hands. The other neat thing about doTERRA is the product works. So it's pretty, I wouldn't say easy to share because you really do have to know a lot about oils. But some of us, when we started using oils, we just got so passionate about it. And that's why I do it. I love the product so much, and it's really hard for me to be quiet if I see that someone is in need physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. They work on so many levels, the products. And so you couldn't hold me back from sharing anyway, even if I wasn't making any money off of it. So that's why the business works really well for people on that level. Anything else I want to tell you about that? Just that it's fun to work with your friends. And I actually always like supporting my friends and their businesses. There's a lot of at-home businesses, and especially moms at home. It helps keep them at home instead of in the workplace. So I'm able to take care of my kids and then also work part-time. I work part-time hours and I make full-time wages, full-time salary. At one time in doTERRA, I think I might still be in this category, but I was in the top 1% of female earners in the world. And, I taught classes and stuff outside the home sometimes, but other than that, I was raising my kids in my home. And it's how my husband started his at-home business. He has a YouTube channel, and he had another business before that. He was able to come home and get his business started because I was doing so well with doTERRA. And really, both of us are living our dreams now because I just have a real service-oriented heart. And most of the people who come into this business are like that. So one of the things that you'll hear with doTERRA when you come into the business, we'll ask you, well, why do you want to come in? So I'll tell you my why, see if you relate to this. My why is to help people. And I can go a little deeper than that. And I can say, well, yeah, I'd like to make some money for my family at home. Definitely to help my husband start his business. I already told you that. And probably there's a third tier, a little bit deeper. As a woman in the home, I value motherhood a lot, and I really want to raise my own kids and not put them in daycare. But I also want to use my talents and feel fulfilled and feel like I'm making a contribution to the world. So this is just kind of my vehicle to do that. And I do want to succeed and rank advance and show myself that I can do those kinds of things. It helps with my self-esteem. It really does. But it would be really hard for someone to come into doTERRA unless they don't have a servant's heart. Because going back to it now, I've been doing this for 11 years and I just can't leave it. And it's because I still care so much about sharing the message and helping people with bringing natural medicine practices into their home and helping them to learn how to be healthier without relying on drugs and relying on medicine. By the way, in doTERRA, we aren't extremists. We totally love doctors. We just like having options to use natural medicine first, trying something natural, and then later on, if we still can't get help, then we'll go to the doctor. But it really saves on a lot of medical bills. That's why people love it so much. And it's a very lucrative business. If you're really passionate, you put your heart into it, you find like-minded friends to work with you, and you aren't afraid of work.